Hello and welcome back to the Handy Outdoorsman. Today we're back up at the property and we're going to finish working on this 10 by 20 Shelterlogic and the modifications that we're going to make to it. So the game plan today is to wrap this whole thing with metal siding. The structure itself, if you remember my previous video, and if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link here to go and check that out. But we built out all this frame, and in the previous video, I could shake it and it had quite the wobble in it. By just putting this frame on here, it wobbles a little bit this way, but going back and forth this way, it's rock solid. I'm having to lean on that pretty good. But yeah, it definitely will help in the long run here by reinforcing it. So what I want to do today, as I indicated a moment ago, is just put siding on. I'll bring you along, and this should go relatively quick because everything's already laid out for it. So let's get started and put the metal on. So I got the back done. Now I got to get up on the ladder and do the top. But this is what it's looking like. And then I've got the side on. It's not screwed in yet, I just got it clamped. Just trying to make sure that things line up before I start screwing them to the structure. This would be better with two people. Just if someone else is going to try and do this, make sure you get a little helping hand. The first row is not too bad. It's when you get up to the second row that trying to hold those pieces into place by yourself and then put screws in is challenging, to say the least. All right, just a little progress update. I'll bring you back when I get this side done. So just as when I was putting the frame up, the screws I was using would not tap into the metal post. And the screws that I'm using here on this metal will go through the sheet metal just fine, but it will not tap into the post. So I'm going to have to do the same thing, is take my awl and then go ahead and tap the holes down into the post in order for the screws to go in. All right, well, I got the roof on. Was a little bit of a challenge, but again, perseverance pays off. So I just made sure that I took it nice and slow and hit all my studs. And then here in the center, though I didn't show it, there is a seam going up here. I did put a bead of caulk all the way underneath that. Actually, you can see a little bit up there at top where it kind of dripped a little bit, but there is caulk in here to kind of seal that on the overlap. Okay, but yeah, the roof is done. When it came down to the edge, I doubled up on the screws. I just wanted to make sure that it held here and that if the wind caught this lip, that it wouldn't pull it away. So the screws are doubled up. And then coming in the center, I just put one at through every center section, so you can see here the screws that I put in. And again, wherever I have an overlap, I went ahead and just put a bead of caulk down just to kind of seal it. Not a large one, but just enough to seal it. So the screws that I'm using have these washers on them, and you don't want to go ahead and put them in too tight to where they're just going to flatten out the washer. You want it so that it just dimples the washer a little bit, and then now you'll have a nice seal on the screws. And that's both on the red and the gray. I got colored screws to match the sheet metal, but that's what's on both of them. So up top here you can see, the light coming through on the metal. But on the outside edges, you don't see any light coming in. Let me show you over here in this corner. So this is facing the outside. Now I do have some gaps here and there, and then I've got some down at the bottom. But what I've done is there's a foam piece that goes in that matches the curvature of the siding, and that's what I put on there to help seal this, so that one, for weather, and then two, bugs coming in and wanting to make a home out of it. Let me show you the outside. So as you can see here, the foam contours to the style of the sheet metal, and it seals it right up. So a little extra in the cost, couple dollars, but well worth it. And I did that on all the corners, or wherever I had pieces meet. So, but yeah, overall I'm pretty pleased with the results of this. All right, guys, I'm done with the metal siding. The only thing that I have left to do are the doors, and I'm still working on a couple of designs. I still haven't decided on which one I'm going with. So a little bit more research, a little bit more design, and then I'll let you know. But I have an 8-foot span, 6-foot height. I wanted to go a little higher, but I needed this for the structural strength to keep it from rocking like this. And when I'm on the tractor, I just got to duck a little bit. But this is a huge improvement compared to the canvas that was on here before. As I showed in the video, in my last video before I put up the wood structure, this whole thing, kind of really wobbled quite a bit. But now that, I've got the wood structure in here, I've got the metal siding on, when I try and rock this, it's not moving anywhere. Now it does move just a slight this way, but I am leaning on it to do that. So from a structural standpoint, the wood helped it, but the wood and the metal together really gave this
structure, some integrity as far as strength goes. So that's good. All right, so I'm going to end the video here. It's hot and I'm tired. Sun warmed me out today. So I'll bring you back on the next video and we'll do the doors and we'll discuss cost and what all of this cost me. So as always, I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. So until the next video, take care and God bless.